Hey guys, Chef DQ here, back with another video. A lot of you guys might have watched my Mother's Day video. I'm back with a Father's Day video. Last time I made brunch, today I'm taking it to the grill. Alright, so first off, I'm going to start making our brine. We're going to do a whiskey stout brine. This is actually Box Office new stout coming out on Friday. And we're going to start off by dropping like, I guess 4 cups inside there. And like a typical brine, we're going to just start off with like basic ingredients: salt, about 4 tablespoons, sugar, about 4 tablespoons. We're going to smash some garlic, which I already have smashed right here. We're just going to get that inside there so that when it starts boiling, it starts incorporating inside the actual brine. We're going to do a couple sprinkles of cayenne right now. You don't want to do a lot of that. It goes a far way. And fresh thyme. And luckily, one of our employees, Abby, has a garden and doesn't forget to do things like I do. All right, right now we're just going to bring that to a boil. Once we bring it to a boil, we're going to make sure that all of our spices are completely dissolved, and we'll move from there. You can see that everything kind of looks like it's dissolved. I'm not sure how you could really tell, but like it kind of looks like it. And we're gonna drop about 8 cups of ice in there. And that's our brine. That's really all it is. It's not that hard. We're gonna let that cool down. Or at least to like room temperature. And we're just gonna place our ribs in there and let them sit for about 6 to 8 hours. And then from there, guys, we're going to take our brine. Sorry about the fans going on right now. Original fans, actually. Just do a little bit in there. You only really need enough to cover the ribs. And the more ribs you have inside a pan, the less brine you actually need because it spreads out a little bit more. And we're going to, about 6 hours, I'll come around and flip this over. Pour it up. We're in about 3 hours, I'm sorry. And as you can see and tell, this has definitely been sitting in here for about 6 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bust that out real quick. And you can tell by the smell, it's very pungent from that whiskey stout. And we're gonna go ahead and rub that down. A little bit of dry rub, pat that down, make sure it's nice and coated. Looks pretty good. And from here, we're going to wrap it up and throw it on the grill. We are going to put this on the grill for about 3 hours. Start off with our whiskey peach barbecue. I mentioned this in my last video, and I'm bringing it back right now. I'm going to show you how to make your own barbecue sauce with onions that I have right here. We're going to get those cooking down. We want to make sure that they're somewhat translucent. Since we're cooking that right now, we're going to drop a little bit of salt. That's going to help the overall process. Our onions are starting to be a little bit caramelized, a little bit translucent. We're cooking. We're going to drop our peaches in there, get that started. We want those to caramelize also. I'm not going to throw away these containers today. Since I already have this cooking, I'm just going to throw in like a clove of garlic or something. Maybe some rosemary. Rosemary peach is actually a thing, and that's like good caramelization right there. We're going to go ahead and drop our new sponsor, Filibuster, right down the street, Warriortown, in here, about 1 cup. Looks about 1 cup to me. And we're going to let that on fire. It's on fire, but sometimes it's anticlimactic. That's how life works. We're going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients in here. Brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, ketchup. I poured a little bit too much in here. We're about to do half. That's about 1 cup ketchup, probably. Molasses, probably about half a cup of this. Worcestershire. Everything needs a hit of cayenne. Paprika. Garlic powder, onion powder, and we're just going to whisk that together. We're basically gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes-ish until it becomes a little bit reduced, and we're going to blitz that with an immersion blender. So if you guys haven't picked that up yet, I'd really look into that. All I do for grilled vegetables is I take my onion, I barely do anything to it. I do a light sprinkle of salt, a little bit of black pepper in there, olive oil, just to like get everything moving around, and we're gonna cover that. Cook it in there forever, and it's gonna be caramelized. The natural sugars of an onion are gonna be caramelized. It's gonna be delicious. All right, guys. First thing we're gonna do is start off with spraying off our pan. Usually I'd use like a disposable pan. This time I'm using a metal pan, the first pan I found. We're going to go ahead and dump our noodles in there. Make sure they're laying flat a little bit. You know, try to get them not sticking together. Then we're going to just sprinkle a little bit of cheese in here. Yeah, just a little bit of cheese in there. Just kind of move this around. Usually I like to get a little bit hands-on. I think I might get a little bit hands-on. I'm gonna get a little bit hands-on. I like to get hands-on. If you don't like to get dirty, you ever been to a playground before, that's fine. Got some cheddar cheese in here. Trying to spread that out very like evenly. I'm gonna spread out this Parmesan very evenly. Also, I'm making a mess, but like, mac and cheese is fun, man. You gotta have fun with this. Last, we're going to dump our beer cheese in here. The beer cheese recipe is actually in the description. I'm not going to show you how to make beer cheese. If you do need help making beer cheese, you can come in and ask Carly, because that's who makes my beer cheese. And we're just going to spread that out. And I'm a little cheater. I'll tell you what, I really am kind of. Because I already toasted my panko, and I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle that on. That's about what it should look like. Add an egg to it if you want it to form a little bit better. It's going to make it a little bit harder to break. Next, we're just going to wrap that up with foil. Okay, so now this is wrapped up. We're just going to set that aside. Alright, so after the mac and cheese is done, we are going to move on to our barbecue sauce. This looks delicious. It's a nice barbecue sauce looking color. Nice like a brown. So next thing we're going to do is pull out our immersion blender, and we're going to blitz that up. I'm going to try to come closer to the camera so you guys can see the consistency. Bam. Looks like barbecue sauce. Alright guys, so now we're taking it back out to the grill. It did seem to clear up a little bit, so back to what I was saying about it raining in Virginia. So this is Virginia. Nobody has no clue. While you guys are gone, I did put these ribs on, and they're not really seeming to break apart like I would really want them to. Like, you'd want them to be falling apart a little bit more. I think they've been on for about like 2 hours almost, and we're just going to continue to baste that. I've been out here about every 30 minutes just basting them, flipping it over, basting it again. I wouldn't leave it on the other side until like it's been about halfway through the process. But this is going to keep all these sugars are just going to continue to caramelize on the ribs. Our vegetables are doing good. Check that out. They're just dripping with sugars. Yeah, all these sugars are going to continue to caramelize and have to create this coating that's just going to make our ribs delicious towards the end. I will tell you what, bud. So, since we're already out here, we're going to go ahead and throw this mac and cheese on. I'm going to put that on the bottom rack because heat rises, and we want this to take as long as possible, slow and low, cooking that cheese, having it form together. And that's going to take about 2 hours. And they are just falling apart. That's exactly what we're looking for. I guess right now we're going to start plating. And if you guys can just look at that, that is great. I actually threw my barbecue sauce back on the smoker just to heat it up. We're gonna wipe that down again. Look at these ribs. And our mac and cheese is actually looking really good. Look at that. And we're gonna put that on there. You can smell the smoke from it. That's a nice little smoked onion right there. And that's actually my favorite part about the cookout. We used to do it growing up all the time. Close our smoker up. And that's our plate. We're just gonna clean up a little bit. That's about it, guys. I showed you guys how to make your dad a plate. All you have to do is take it to him. He's probably sitting in the recliner. I'm not really sure where your dad's at, not your house. But I'd like to do a big shout out to David Yablonsky. He's our cameraman right now. Brian McKee, our editor. Tom and Mary Beth Price, my bosses. Carly Price, my employee, my right-hand man. Filibuster Whiskey. Make sure to get your dad a growler full of our box office beer. I'm going to go ahead and chill out and take a sip out of this one. Happy Father's Day.